A few words about the assignments in this course. There are three types, basically. Quizzes, discussion forums, and response papers. Now, the quizzes consist of the short story term and drama term quizzes that begin each of those modules. And I give them in the beginning because I want them to give you a vocabulary that hopefully you can use when you create the rest of the assignments. They correspond in the material that's been uploaded. They test you on those terms specifically, and hopefully get you thinking about the works that you read ahead. Now, those works are a bit difficult compared to Comp 1, so I expect you to read them more than once. Read them once to find out what happens, and then read them again with the assignments in mind, so that you can go through and pick quotes and thoughts that you come up with specifically to those questions. Don't try to do it all at once with one reading. It will never work for you. It's too much to ask. The quizzes of those works are strictly plot-based, and they are the character profiles will be multiple select, 5 out of 10, and the rest will be true, false, multiple choice in nature. And like I said, we'll test you specifically on the plot, what happens in the story, and who these characters are, what makes them tick. Okay, what kind of people are they? Once that's done, then I ask you a more specific question to one of the works that is intended to make you go a little deeper beyond what happens in the story. And I want you to explore that informally in the discussion forum. You post your initial response of at least 250 words. The rest of the discussion forum will then open up, and you can read your classmates' responses. I want you to respond to at least 2 of your classmates' responses at least 100 words each. Okay, and that gets the discussion informally going about the issues in the works. Once that's done, you will also be assigned a response paper to one of the works, either the same one in the discussion forum or a different one, and that's included in the module, in the unit. And it is your response to that will be a typical Comp 1 persuasive essay. I have uploaded a persuasive blueprint that's embedded in the that unit, that response paper box, and a list of transitions to help you create more complex sentence structure, more interesting sentence structure. But I want the response you create to match in structure that blueprint. An introduction with a proposition. You're going to pick one side of the argument. The question is set up that way. And you're going to find 3 reasons to support it. Okay? One body paragraph in each, and then a concluding paragraph. I do that because I feel any paper you create in college should be persuasive. You should be trying to convince your reader to agree with something that you believe in or disagree with. Okay? So those papers will sharpen that skill. The literary research project exposes you to a collection of literary articles on these works from our database. Those articles are a little highfalutin in the language because they're written by people who really, really, really like these works. They're very focused. They're not encyclopedic in nature. They have a very specific argument. They talk about very specific elements in these works, and assume you've read the works ahead of time. What I'll want you to do with these is pick 4 from my list, summarize them, and then evaluate them. And each one of the drop boxes has a list of questions for you to follow, answer, um, to point to things to look for. There is also a video that's very helpful as to how to summarize and evaluate a literary article.